tell us more about the White Bear and his party of the South? George, take a seat and share the brain. Because cold winds of the north, they blow when we invoke his name. Now, where did we leave off last? The ships carrying the mages stood aflame. As party boarded the ship, prey came hunter. No, we already heard that part. His coldness took his large and laid on his friend Theus, as he told Shah Safi that honor and love rarely married. No, we already heard that part. Well, all right. The party was staying in Staunton, city of golden light. It was in the days leading to the peace. And the Rethurian people were excited. But the party of the White Bear found no peace. Investigating a sinister, a dark ritual, the first reaver of Jarles Helga the Widow's mind raced, trying to unearth this foul. The motive of the ritual, unknown even to the greatest wizards of all, Nungle.
Session of Storms over Cerenar. Thank you very much, Jonas, for that.
Holy shit! Way to go! That was fantastic.
Oh, I'm looking forward to more of that. That's great. Hi, everybody. That was our recap from last time. We are Epic Boon Productions. This is the actual play live podcast. No, not podcast. Video cast, whatever. Where the actual play live stream Storms over Cerenar. We bring together more than 50 years of role-playing experience to create an epic tale of ancient secrets, sleeping gods, and country-spanning conflicts in a high-level D&D campaign.
And less than one in Twitch streaming.
Well, what?
You have 50 years of experience playing D&D, but less than one Twitch streaming, so.
Less than one. We try to get by. My name is Raw, and I have the pleasure to be your Dungeon Master for tonight. And with me, as always, are these 5 wonderful ding-dongs. Say ding-dongs. Say hello, ding-dongs.
Hello, ding-dongs.
Hello, ding-dongs.
Hello.
Before any of these ding-dongs get a chance to introduce themselves or their characters, I want to remind all of you out there that Storms over Cerenar is a rowdy and sometimes dark role-playing campaign for adults. Sometimes we tackle hard and uncomfortable subjects in a respectful and empathetic way. Needless to say, audience discretion is advised. So, we don't have any special questions or anything for today, so I would just like our ding-dongs to introduce themselves. So, Alex, please.
Hello. As our good DM has just mentioned, I am Alex. I'm Oust, the slightly now murderous and possibly unhinged high elf hexblade warlock / archaeologist. Yeah, there we go. Let's see what happens to my mental state throughout the course of this episode. Who knows?
And you're talking about yourself and not Oust here, right?
Oh, a little bit of column A, a little bit of column B.
All right, get it. All right, perfect. Well, next one up is Evan.
Hello. Like you said, I'm Evan, currently playing Arsifice, the Tabaxi Inquisitive Rogue, full-time private investigator in the city of Staunchflow, and currently not at his wit's ends, but reaching it. Definitely with this party at the very least.
Oh, that's a roast if I ever heard one. Next one up will be you, Jonas.
Hi guys, I'm Jonas. Pleased to meet you all. I'm have the honor and the privilege of playing Björn, the barbarian from the northern land.
Beautiful, thank you. Leon.
I'm Leon. I'm playing Theus, the eloquent bard, currently still haunted by his past, but still trying to keep a chipper attitude while the assassination code is chasing him and the party.
Beautiful. And last but not least, Tanner.
Hi, I'm Tanner, a fellow producer at Epic Boon Productions. I play Nongle, a nomad gnome who is a wizard with a bit of cleric and a bit of sorcerer. And well, this is what he gets for making new friends.
Well, are you all done, Tanner?
Oh yeah, that's it. Pretty much.
About our old friend. Very well. So, without further ado, I would like to take you with me on a journey. Far eastern parts of Cerenar, where the rugged snow-covered peaks of the Grey Rim Mountains pierce the clouds. We hear the cry of the mighty rock before the winds of fate itself leads us down between the peaks to the very topmost parts of the dwarven motherlands and the watchtowers that populate the peaks. Connecting them all is the sprawling underway of tunnels that reach from the mighty Grey Rim peaks to the very core of the earth. We follow one such shaft down, past underground hamlets and villages, fungal farms and mines, so many mines, until we find ourselves in a truly astoundingly gargantuan cavern. 3 massive veins of metal reflect from the torchlight above, the birthright of the Low King of the Dwarves. Deep in the darkness of this cavern, we follow a thin stone bridges until the sound of hammer and anvil, stone and pick, drink and song reach us. We have reached the lip of Himdural, the hall of the Low King, the beating heart of Dwarf, a metropolis reaching far, far down into the darkness of the depths below the mountains. Here we go through torchlit streets, through parks and foundries, libraries and workshops, and the very bottom, the center of Himdural, we see the Onyx Hall. A fairly modest castle for dwarvish standards, but beautiful, black, like the pupil in an eye, or the center of a black hole. And inside its winding corridors, we enter a meeting room. Wide marble wall, beautiful Art Deco, gold leaf ornamentations and carvings, depicting at one side a dozen crowned individuals bowing to a single person, half obscured in darkness, sitting below the rest, with a larger crown holding in one hand a pick and another hand a hammer. The meeting room is abuzz with conversation as the lords and official of the court of the Low King has been summoned unexpectedly. On everyone's lips are the news of an envoy sent from the north. A wish from all of the rulers of the northern kingdoms, Yalis Helga the Widow, reaching out to the Low King himself to reforge old alliances in the current climate of animosity against the North. An extravagantly dressed dwarf with fur-lined red garb stands. His extensive silver jewelry flashes in the large mirror, standing in stark contrast to his ashen white skin of a dwargar, a deep dwarf. He speaks. Rusbadkor, my liege, the delegation of Van der Room and the Southern League holds his position as opposing the Northern request of alliance. We urge and hear the Low King to stand with our allies in the Conventicule and the South, and defend the Dwarven holds within their lands. Murmurs and nods erupt next to the Lord, but on the other side of the table, just in front of the large mirror that adorns one of the walls, the other side erupts in disagreement. Another dwarf, this time a mountain dwarf with amber-colored skin, in white and blue garb adorned with the pelt of a brown bear, he stands. He speaks. Honorable King under the realms of men, I speak for the Northern Confederation and the King of Karasvir. We will not let war arrive to the lands of our neighbors and stand idly by. We beseech and urge you, lowest of all authorities, to stand by the old oaths of our people. The Northmen once removed the elven boot from our beards. Given the chance, it is our honor-bound duty to do the same for the Northern Kingdoms. More hubbub and commotion ensues as the two sides stand out in vicious argument, yelling and defending their interests. In the mirror, within the sea of chaos that is the debating dwarven delegates, only one dwarf sits still, the eye of the storm. At the end of the table, an ornate rock throne, beautiful in its simplicity, fragile as black glass. He wears a crown, so dark, so black that it seems to almost swallow the light around it. His beard is long and white, and his face and hands are scarred from the life of a warrior. He has two blue steel eyes who look out at the delegates. He does not need to raise his voice or pound the table. He slowly raises his left hand. The crowd silences itself instantly in deference to the Low King himself. Many of them might disagree with his virtues or his politics. Even some loathe the fact that he is a mountain dwarf, another dwargar. But they respect the throne, the crown. That will be enough, my good lords and delegates. The holds and the seat below all thank you for your tireless efforts, I am sure. Now, I must deliberate, and the court must work to find a solution benefiting all of Dwarven kind. This meeting is adjourned. Delegates, lords, and court officials stand up in a murmur. The Low King rises. Everybody kneels in front of him. And as he stands up, his beautiful robes are flowing like silk on the smooth polished stone floor. As he leaves, various court official bureaucrats and ministers follow him. The heavy, armored retinue of guards follow him out. The man behind the mirror also follow him out. Within the torchlit hallways of the Onyx Hall, many feet can be heard as the Low King barks out orders and directives. One by one, the officials separate. Officials or ministers get their tasks, gathering information or sending missives on behalf of the fragile government that loosely connects all of the dwarven holds of Cerenar. The group of following courtiers has halved in size as the Low King stops before two ornate wooden doors. They are opened, revealing an ornate black marble changing room before the steam baths of the Low King. Please, be on your way. I must rest. The Low King dismisses the official. As they leave, the royal guards leaves the Low King in the changing room, standing guard outside. Inside the changing room, he takes off his massive furs, standing as a somewhat more slender and small figure without the extra layer of clothing. As he unties one of his boots, he speaks up to the empty room. Mr. Safis, Galil, please, come out of the shadows and have a seat. We have much to discuss. Evan, would you please describe your character?
Stepping out from behind a mirror is a tall, similarly built tabaxi with kind of this white fur with brownish muzzle, like a sphinx cat. His pointed ears going straight up, and his tail kind of curled around his waist like a belt. His robes are, or his outfit, I should say, is very dwarven in nature, though custom built to be for a taller, lankier tabaxi as opposed to the stouter dwarf body. With a polite bow, he waits for the Low King to continue.
Oh, please, have a seat. Sophis, would you like to join me in the banyan, or do you prefer not to get your fur wet?
I prefer not to get my fur wet, if you would not mind, Your Majesty.
Yes, you
If I'm a
will.
fan of these.
She will. He goes over and he opens kind of like a cabinet, and you see like ornate like crystal glass on the inside and a bunch of bottles containing liquor of some kind. Can I offer you a drink? Vodka, maybe? Cognac?
I must remind Your Majesty that I'm currently on the clock, so to speak.
Well, I am your boss, so you know you can say yes if you want to, all right?
He politely puts his hand up.
Yeah, I will not press you any further, my friend. But you will not judge me if I have some. It has been a long morning.
It has.
He takes out one of the glasses and he pours some vodka. It is like you can see the cold temperature of the glass like instantly condensates on the outside of the glass as he sits down. Like his two boots uncharacteristically opened as he is completely what could you say, without decorum. He drinks some of the vodka and he looks at you and he says, like, I have to admit, Fierce, my friend, I have the same feeling in my bones as I did just before the Sundering War against the Catonian Imperium. I remember sitting down across the table with this human, King Grim of the Northmen, and we broke bread and we drank ale. We studied more than 50 years of bloodshed on that meeting, and now it would seem that the drums of war can be heard again. He looks up at you as he takes the last of the vodka and he sets down the glass with a clack. And he points to his forehead. I have worn this crown for more than 2 centuries, and I had hoped that my last few years would be more simple, uninteresting. Never mind all that. I want to hear it from you, Sophias. What do you make of all this, the situation? What do we have to address?
Well, as Your Majesty spoke earlier, it seems the hatred of the North is reaching a boiling point across the globe, or the continent. In our most recent meeting of the Chamber of the Conventicle, it seems economic sanctions have been laid across the North, courtesy of the South and the Ujari Emirate. Jarlis Helga, for her response, has called forth her clanmen, her shield bearers, as well as a call to Your Highness to rekindle the alliance of old. Naturally, this pressures the holds from many angles, but with no small number of holds supporting both sides, it is a delicate issue. Caution and tact are required, Your Majesty, for the holds to maintain their unity.
Well, business as usual then. His, like, when his smile, like when Low King Crime smiles, you really see his years behind him, right? He must be, what, at least about 300? He's getting really old. Yes, you're right. Delicate. Alright, so let's take it from the top, shall we? So, which Dwarven holds is backing the alliance with the Northern Kingdoms? Who supports this?
The major holds that are supporting it are Karzanwir, Tor Shahak, Tor Sehak, and Kurjal, collectively known as the Northern Confederation. They have close economic ties to the north, but more importantly, in this case, they have strong cultural ties as well. As you heard in the meeting, they fear the Imperium and the metaphorical boot they put upon your people. They see the Northmen as kin in a sense in that way, and would find it honorable and useful to maintain this alliance. They seem to make the argument that this old alliance, was not formed with King Grim specifically, but with the North as a whole. Something their opponents in this field disagree with. It is also worth noting that these holds are particularly zealous in their desire. It is entirely possible that several of them, in particular Kazarware and Tor Sehok, will offer military support despite your Majesty's decision. In worst case scenario, it may lead to a secession.
Well, they do not take honor and oaths that lightly in the north. That is correct. Well, and the opposition, who opposes this alliance with the northern kingdoms?
The aptly named bloc, the Southern League. They are made up of Seldoral, Kurborem, Vin Lodir, and Vardahar. With Seldoral and Van Lodir sitting at the forefront of the bloc. They lack the cultural ties of their northern counterparts, but their economic ties to the south are all the stronger. They rely on their southern human trade partners not only for wealth but for food as well. And it is no small question, it is an obvious fact that war with the south would leave these holds in ruin. It is also a matter beyond question, or matter beyond worth, as they argue this alliance of old was made with King Grim specifically, and not with the North, and as such they are not honor-bound to maintain this cult from Yordas Elka.
Yeah, so they see it as a personal alliance.
Yes. It is also worth noting that, while not publicly yet, they have made it known privately they intend to remain neutral if a war was to find its way south, regardless of your Majesty's orders.
What about the rest then?
So the only bloc currently worth mentioning is left is the Loyalists, comprised of they hold around Himdural. They strongly value their isolation, but as you know, are known to support you and your Majesty's office with enough push from yourself. Interesting enough, Nurath Abad, the hold under Nurath, also clamors for neutrality, calling out with the ever-catchy slogan, "Trade with all, fight with none." It's a curious development.
Well, I knew interesting things would come of declaring a dwarven hold under a human capital, but, well... This is not good. We stand... If I choose one thing, the others will oppose it, and this is... What do you call this? It's a big problem. Herding cats. Pardon. Of course, no offense.
He takes my offense, but does not mention that he does.
Tell me, what about our neighboring nation? Do we know their positions officially?
Certainly, their positions have not changed recently since the Comitical meeting. The Imperium, as always, finds a time coiled like a snake ready to strike. It is possibly looking for a chance to retake some of its northern territories, perhaps slit a few dwarven throats along the way. The Orions and Rothurians are curious, interestingly, because in recent past they were active trade partners with the North. It seems strange to this one that they would change so strongly into a hostile stance on northern goods. I believe this merits more looking into. Lastly is the Emirates. They are at the head of this hostile movement against the North and would likely jump at the chance to spill northern blood if war were to break out.
I see. He goes up, takes some more vodka, and as he drinks some more, he leans up against the massive stone bench as he just looks tired. Why did this have to happen to him, right? All right, what do you make of the situation? What is your counsel?
This one's counsel is to note the situation is precarious, no doubt, my liege. And I fear the honor and well-being of the holds is at stake. But it is of this humble's opinion that, regardless of your decision, and this one will not presume to make that decision for you, that the Northern holds stand to lose the least if we were to break our promise with the alliance in the north. New alliances can be forged with new allies, but the Southern holds would simply starve to death if war was to break out amongst them. So the question stands, what is more important?
Yes, what is more important, the honor of our people or
The food
the
and the berries.
well-being? You have to admit, I do not like this. I do not like the proposition of abandoning our Northern Alliance. If the Imperium strikes back, then where should we get our aid?
Perhaps Ratharian? Or the Ratharians, or the Orions.
Perhaps.
The Ratharians in particular are known to dislike the Imperium almost as much as the North. It is not impossible that we could strike up a defensive alliance, though once again this is outside this one's realm of expertise. You'd do best to ask your diplomats on this regard, Your Highness.
But you also say that usually Rathuria and Urania, they do not want to fight the North, so what has happened now? Do we know this?
We do not. This is the question indeed, is it not? And it is a question that this one plans to do his best to find out.
See, the Low King strokes his white beard as his eyes kind of narrow. I feel there's more to this than just war, Mr. Safis. What would you focus on? Internal affairs between the Dwarven Holds unity, or maybe trying to find out what is happening with the other nations?
If I were in your position, Your Majesty, I would focus on internal affairs. It seems that there is a growing dissatisfaction amongst the various holds among how things are going, and as the saying goes, a house arguing with itself cannot withstand the storm. It seems best to take steps against whichever faction you decide to ally with. If you decide to move with the North, you ought to, in my humble opinion, take actions against the Southern holds to maybe quell them, or at least have them feel satisfied to remain not at odds with you in these motions. Likewise, if you were to side with the South, it would be a good recommendation to perhaps find replacements for the current leaders of the Northern holds, ones more sympathetic towards the Southern cause. No, this is not easy, I understand.
Do you think we can avoid this? Do you think we somehow can avoid this conquest of the North?
Perhaps, but this one fears that is entirely within the realm of man. The dwarves are, in this moment, uncharacteristically being dragged along, as opposed to making the push. It is difficult to remain neutral when the argument is to remain neutral or not, so to speak.
I hear this. I will work on this. I will see to the internal unity of the Dwarven Holds. But I do not want this problem to escalate any further. I have a question to ask you, Khalil.
Always, Your Majesty.
Where do you think let's just say it like it is. You are a spy. A good one, a damn good one. And are you best serving me here in the halls of the Onyx Keep, or do you think maybe I think maybe you could help me figuring out what is happening with these other nations.
It is of this one's opinion that it is difficult to spy on one's enemies if one is hiding inside one's house.
In that case, with your blessing, Mr. Sophis, I would like to appoint you my new envoy to the secular chamber of the conventicle. Go
His
there.
ears kind of perk up very sharply at that, but he remains quiet.
Go there. We will call back the old Mr. Drake Fury. And you will be my eyes and ears. Try to find out what is happening. Who is behind this enmity between the different kingdom of men? Dig through this. I feel like there's something happening. In the meantime, I think we have some decisions to make. Would you not say so, Mr. Safis?
This one would indeed.
He stands up, cracks his back a bit as he goes to another bag, and out of the bag he takes a couple of sending stones. And he gives you one of them, and he says, "This is your direct line to me."
Your Majesty blesses me. And he takes it gracefully.
There might be more interests at work here than just what we see in here. Please, help me find out who we are really up against.
Deeply bowing. Certainly, Your Majesty.
Well then, you have a long journey ahead of you, my friend. Let us hope for your swift return.
Let us hope for your long rule, he says, and curtsying one last time before turning to leave the room.
Oh, one last thing, Safis.
Stopping the turn.
Galil Safis, let me... Do you need anything?
Nothing I could not obtain through the armory or official channels. Perhaps, perhaps some access to some records. This one would like to look through some, get a better understanding on the exact economic ties between various holds and various factions. Perhaps there's a pattern to be found there.
You have it. Ambassador and Special Envoy Galil Safis. I will make sure that you get the seal of open doors from my court.
Your Majesty is too kind.
No, Your Majesty expects results, Mr. Safis.
I would not be here if I did not provide them.
No, you would not.
Yes. No. Have a pleasant sauna. And
Thank you.
Will
And
leave the way he came through the false mirror.
And with that, we leave the halls of Himdural, where we just met another Safis. We return to the city of Golden Lights, to Staunch, where our brave heroes stand at an impasse. Nongel and Bjorn, you are still underground, or looking through this, where you looking through the undersewers, where you last time you found some kind of pillar had been, or pillar of rock had been put in the middle of the septagram, kind of blocking a big bunch of magma underneath the city, which could possibly not blow if something was summoned through this. I don't think we established where Aust and Theus and Safis had been going this day, as that was the first thing that happened here on the 27th of Aurora. It's around midday. So, where do we start? Let's say Aust, Theus, and Safis. What do you want to do this day?
Sorry, just to confirm, were others already going underground?
I
towards
think
this pillar.
Nongo and Bjorn were underground.
We were above ground. I used my arcane eye to go and search everything out. So
all right, yeah,
yeah,
sure.
yeah.
And is there an intention to go underground today, or at least?
I think actually, let's say that
I don't think we've reported it back to you guys yet.
No.
So
I would say after your revelation, I would say Noggle, you would probably go back and talk to the others, right?
Yeah.
So let's say you find yourself in the confines of Arsifis's client's office with there's like a few couches, I imagine.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you are you see Bjorn and Nongle returning back. How do Bjorn and Nongle look as they return? What kind of looks are on their faces?
Big and dumb. Like,
Nongle is
usually is.
Nongle's skipping along behind the very tall Bjorn, trying to keep up, but eagerly, and just like you could just see, like it's kind of like that meme with all the like math going around the person's head. He's kind of like trying to figure stuff out as he's walking, almost tripping over his own feet.
All right.
So very distracted.
Hey guys, we have some news. Nongle, you described it as a cork in a bottle.
It's a pillar. No, we don't actually get close to it itself. I used my magic to actually detect where it was. However, there's this exactly, a cork that's inside a bottle. It's this pillar that seems to be containing some sort of energy that will hold the city from being destroyed and leveled itself. It's a completely different problem than we were looking at. It's not so much as some sort of ritual as we believe to be. It's more of a failsafe to remove the city completely.
Oh, that's interesting.
And just to confirm from last time, Raw, was it that the because, and this might have been me misunderstanding it in the last session. The pillar was something that was not the pillar, because that's going to be confusing. The plug, shall we say, underneath the city, that was more of something that has been overlooked by the people creating the ritual, and something that could make it a hell of a lot worse, rather than directly related.
From what you can gather,
gotcha.
And thinking back from all of this, you could see, Noggle could see that the plug, let's call it the cork. I like the cork.
Yeah.
The cork was made magically, meaning it was probably put there at the same time Arkan kind of closed off the septigram, right?
Gotcha.
So you think from what you can see and what you have heard from the people you have interrogated, etc., that they don't know anything about this cork, meaning that the cork might create unforeseen consequences if the ritual goes through. Looking at the size and the fit of it, if there is a big enough arcane disruption, Nongle, you estimate that at least Spire Shape, if not all of the city, would get blown up.
Yeah, it's going to be disastrous.
Real bad.
It'll definitely stop the ritual, but not at that kind of cost. So Nongle needs to understand more about what's going on with this. What time of day is it, Roar?
I'll say it's you spent 4 hours on this, and you went in the morning, so I'll say it's 2 p.m. I'm going to skip forward to 2 p.m.
All right, so Nongle it pulls his tome off of his back, and then pulls his spellbook out outside of his bag of holding, and he starts flipping through to the pages, and he says, "Oh no, I didn't. I need time. I need rest."
For what?
There's magics that might be able to help me understand what this cork is that's underneath this spire. I need to understand. This will take me some time. So basically, Nongle does not have the spell he needs prepared, so he is going to unintentionally take start to take a long rest so he can start to prepare it. So hopefully he can cast this spell tonight at some time.
Sure.
So
Sounds like-
Nongo will be busy going through his spells and everything, trying to figure stuff out.
I would say because you woke up like 5 hours ago, 6 hours ago maybe. So I'm not going to allow you making a long rest yet. But I will, if you want to, I will allow you to spend some time researching in the same vein you already did.
Okay, sounds good.
So,
Nongo will start doing that then, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, sure. All right.
Either way, it sounds like the cork on this particular vintage needs to be left unpopped for some time. Well, I think everybody else, we should perhaps see what else needs to be done. Any plans? Strategies?
I'm planning on heading over to Nowhere. Somebody I know that is pretty keenly tied to the going-ons in the city. Maybe he can help us pinpoint where this ritual could take place, or where they're at least keeping the victims. Some other... I'm going to go around the city and just talk to some people I know, see if I can't find anything out.
And your friend is in inertia, is that correct?
No. Nowhere is... He's up in the Lust District. He bums around in alleyways and is a general addict to, well, really everything. Don't worry about it. He's reliable enough.
Well, I also have some avenues in terms of conversing with certain folk to attend to, so there might be a slight overlap in our plans. But my objects of curiosity appear to be more of the upper class, shall we say, and the officials of the town.
Alright. Well, I happen to be going to visit another pretty well-known merchant, though he's a bit of a recluse, so...
Perhaps I'll join you for at least that far and then split off if needs be.
Alright.
I was thinking, Theus, maybe we should go see the sites before they blow up. It could be our last chance.
There's something really great about the idea of just like a northern Viking and just knowing that this city may or may not explode at any given moment, saying, I'd rather go sightseeing. Something
Wait,
really good about that.
Beyond, we're not going to, like, this is not the north. We're not going to pillage this town. Just so you know, like, we don't need to sightsee just to check out the places where you can loot stuff.
Okay.
So I would say instead of like seeing the sights, I mean, we can actually practice. Like we had that problem, like where you just like gently torturing people. Nongel's cousin has prepared the puppet for you. I even told him that he should make it in the shape of a woman, because you're usually more gentle to women.
Yeah, I can practice.
Okay, let's practice gentle torturing.
Okay.
What a sentence.
Also,
Anything,
I just want to spend some time with my body here. Don't know. It sounds so strange. It's only 3 days, or 4 days until.
I've got what on the 29th. What did they say? They said the Orbe Faro Mill. Did they say anything about when?
I don't think so.
I don't think you said like they sent a letter with the old Pharaoh mill, and
Yeah, so let's just say sundown. Does that sound fine? So
it's 3 days until then. All right.
2.
Like this day too, like 2.5.
29th.
Well,
The
then it's
29th, when the sun goes down.
okay, good.
Yeah. And what
It's
is
the
today, the
yeah.
27th? Or
Day
Yeah.
27th.
Okay,
And
then
it's
okay.
around 2 in the afternoon.
And the festival's tomorrow, and
Festival's tomorrow.
Handover's the day after.
could we
Yeah.
just like tell Nongel to check out the sewers with the arcane eye?
Mhm.
We already
Meanwhile-
did that.
All of the sewers?
Well, I don't think girls like capable of examining the entire sewer network alone in any reasonable amount of time. Like it is a city's worth of sewers.
Didn't he
We
look
could
through the
also
parts
check.
where we? What?
Oh, sorry.
I just want to ask if he, like, we told, like, we already said that he should look at the parts where we think the ritual would be, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but the problem is we don't really know where. Like this tower was kind of our one concrete location.
I will say, in addition to finding the plug, you will probably, from looking around this way, get the idea, at least, that it's probably not on the ground, the ritual.
Right, fair enough.
Ooh. The towers.
Just to throw you a little bit of a bone.
Oh, maybe they're not coming from below. Maybe they're coming from above. How tall are these towers as well that we've seen in the city?
Wizard's Tower is usually what? Between 5 and 10 stories?
Pretty beefy then. Okay. Perhaps I explored in the wrong direction when we entered the tower.
Maybe, but are these towers like closed to the public?
Yeah.
No.
I thought they were.
Well, right now they are undergoing renovation, right?
Right, but like Joe Schmo the baker isn't allowed in the tower.
The towers are usually the place where people come to find community or solace. The wizards that inhabit them like fulfill a lot of the same kind of tasks that a priest would in any other society, right? So,
Okay.
kind of getting to grasp with there's no life after death. When you die, you're just gone, right? That kind of thing. They will help you talk to you about that.
Okay.
But at least your soul won't be eaten by a demon, so that's pretty good, right?
Being by
Yep.
sword.
But if your soul is gone or eaten by a demon, does it make a difference? Okay.
And there you go. That's the whole argument.
That's the whole
Figured it out.
Okay.
Like when I would talk to them, I would say, well, if I get eaten by a demon or if I'm totally gone, I think there's no difference.
For you.
D&D 1, organized religion, nil.
Yep. We should organize a religion where we can like promise them salvation or something.
Oh,
Anyway.
that sounds fun.
Anyways,
Make
yeah,
a religion
Bjorn,
of this.
if you are not if you are not up to the task of just stomping through stinky sewers, it's
I would like to do that.
we did this already. So much. I at least did it with Oz, and it was horrible. I think I still have some shit stains somewhere.
I don't mind.
Bjorn, I mind. I was there.
I know.
It was horrible.
But I don't mind.
Bjorn, come
Should
on.
we
No,
go
you
to the sewers?
You don't understand, Theus. I don't mind.
Bjorn, can we please spend a day without shit like clogging up my nose?
Okay.
All right, let's get to practice. Bjorn,
Yeah.
I need to like set your mind on non-shit related matters.
Okay.
So, you guys are just hanging out in the practicing.
We're waiting for new developments. Like we
Alright.
already spent the last few days looking through sewers and for nothing. So the next best thing probably would be waiting if anything above, like the rest are currently searching for, because I have no idea what we are.
Like where you could have a look. All right. I could. Let's see. Noggle is doing research. Aus, do you want to go to the nobility? You say?
Yeah, I want to chill out with the Duke and his cronies as close as I can get.
All right. So you're trying to get to the You're
I'm
basically
doing
trying to
what,
get to Aqua's seat. Is that it?
yeah, basically, I'm doing what the English would refer to as hobnobbing. So yeah, I just want to see what the nobility and the higher ups, the hoi polloi of Staunch Flow may or may not know of what's going on.
Got it. And what about are you going to talk to Nowhere? Is that it?
Yeah.
All right. So, what do we do first? Let's say Cephis.
Sure.
You're going through the city. You want to talk to Nowhere. I Nowhere notes. This time of day he's usually up at the somewhere up at the at the Libertine district, doing drugs and drinking and being scum, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Let's see here. Where is? Why can't I? All right, sure. There we go. All right, found it. So you go up. Give me an investigation check, please.
Right. Attributes, investigation.
Yeah, all right. Forgot I asked. You get a what? A 26.
Yep. 26. Yeah.
You go through the city, like down the Rathuri Boulevard, or through Ratha Boulevard. You walk across Morin Yard, up past Arkan Square, like the Liberation Monument, the Aurelian Bridge, as you continue up at the Aurelian Avenue, and there you go into like some of the kind of more like when you have the Libertine Boulevard, the big one in the middle, like that's the more classy kind of places. But if you go to the side streets around that, it gets less and less classy the more side streets you go in. And at one of these places, like outside, like basically an opium den, you find this man. Like he's like a pale skinned man. Like he has like the remains maybe of freckles. He could be like northern, and he's maybe in his early 20s, right? Like 21, maybe 19. And his body's like scarred and very like sickly thin, right?
Mm-hmm.
He has like it's a weird mix of like kind of tattered clothing and then a few like extravagant kind of colored garbs. He's just like basically lounging out on like a couch out of the street with like a big pipe in his hand, and as you come walking up to him, he just looks up at you. I think, "What up?"
I don't know there. Or hello nowhere.
Yeah, man.
How's it going?
Well, take some of his pipe. Pretty dope right now. What about you?
Not great. I'm working right now. I'm hoping you could point me in the right direction. I'm looking for, well, a lot of someone's actually.
Oh. A lot of people. What, do they owe you money or something, or?
No. I'll worry about the specifics later, but I was hoping you might have heard something about a recent large intake of slave girls, young, about, a little shy of 700 of them.
Go ahead and give me a persuasion roll.
Yes. Happening over the last few months, you see, brought in typically from, well, just about everywhere, but a lot of them from the Hijari Emirates, and that'll be a 16.
Yeah, I've seen some slaver activity. They come in through Smuggler's Pier.
Right.
And then, I don't know, beyond that. But yeah, it's pretty messed up. Why do you care about a bunch of girls?
Well, I care because I've been hired to care, as is tradition in these parts. So I know they're being. I already knew they were being taken in through Smuggler's Pier, but
All right.
what about where they're being taken from? Smuggler's Pier. Where's their end point? You wouldn't happen to know, at least a direction, a district?
Their endpoint, like within the city.
Yes, where they're being stored.
Don't give me another persuasion roll.
Uh, I'm gonna use lucky.
All right, with to comment on that one. All right, another
I'm
16.
gonna
Huh?
use my
Oh,
inspiration. 'Cause I
oh,
want to get higher than a 10 on that. This is important. There we go. I can live with that. 21. Also,
you know
that was my
what?
last.
Now you say it, I think it's not just. Do you think they have something to do with all the homeless girls going missing?
Mm-hmm. I do actually.
Oh well, it's a bunch of small girls, like usually around the projects or the commons.
Mm-hmm.
They just one day they're just gone. No one cares. So I reckon they just got into the hands of some fella who didn't hold back, and that's pretty fucking messed up. So that's really fucking messed up. But you're saying there's something else happening?
I am. Yes.
I'm sorry, man. I haven't seen where they take them. I know they take them to the sewer entrance, and that's basically it, man. But where would you keep a bunch of girls where it wouldn't be weird, right?
Yes. Well, he knocks on the wall that he's leaning up against. That is the question. I'm not. I have my suspicion of a couple places. The issue is searching them. Well,
Now, well, this is the Thorny Rose. It's a classy place. Right? It's not like it's yeah, no. He like looks at his pipe and kind of stops it out. He looks like a bit uncomfortable. He says, I don't know any of these places here, offer that kind of shit, luckily. But if you
I'm
want
not.
if you want to keep a bunch of things very private, like paying for a cabin in the Gardens of Aurelia seems like a pretty good kind of place to start, at least.
Where did he say? I didn't hear.
He says paying for like a private cabin. You can get like summer residences almost within the Gardens of Aurelia. Are you suggesting that looking in there might be?
Where? I'm sorry. Could you point that out on the map to me?
Yeah, I'm pinging.
Oh, there it is. Okay. Yeah.
It's big old pentagon.
Yeah. All right.
So the Gardens of Aurelia is basically the pleasure gardens. You have the circus, where you can do things. There's like a bunch of big ass restaurants and inns, and the palace of the Domo Voluptatis, which is the palace of sin, right? But there's also other kind of you can like rent houses there to just live in if you're rich enough, but it's not cheap. It's it's real fucking expensive to get anything there. It's not really open to the lower classes in that way.
All right. Oh well. Always someone's very insightful, Noah. I appreciate it. Well, do your best to keep an ear out. I know you're occupied most of the day, but do your best.
Yeah, I feel like maybe what time is it? What, like 2:30 or something?
Looking up, yeah, a little close to that, just about.
Maybe a bit too early for this, huh? No. think I might go for a walk. Thinking about that makes me sick to my fucking stomach, you know?
You and me both. Yeah, well,
Tell me if you need anything. I might not be, the most virtuous soul around here, but won't let that shit stand. That's for sure.
kind of just giving him a pat on the shoulder and, well, you're a better man for it, Harper. And we'll head out,
All right.
having gained the information that, or any information that he was hoping to find.
Oust. You are.
Hello.
You're going you're going to the Gloria district. Is that it?
Yes, yeah, and I don't know how how off limits the Arquith seat is. Whether that's kind of like a courtly place in terms of anybody can go and get in, or whether that's kind of the
You
cream of the
know, and
crop,
I will allow you to change your plans if you want to. You know, all of the Gloria district. I'm going to ping it here. Is basically sealed off to anyone who doesn't have a permit to get in, like an errand to run or something.
I mean, that's fine. Firstly, I will be doing this all as Hoster.
Right.
So, yeah. And in keeping with my normal stealth tactics, I will be walking in as blatantly as possible.
All right.
As if I should be there, and I always should have been there.
Brilliant.
And with
Absolutely
with
brilliant.
plenty O coin to spare.
Go ahead and give me a persuasion roll as you, or deception roll as you walk up to the eastern stairgate.
Sure, I am going to, just to make sure I get this right, I'm going to do my commanding presence, which I believe I can get a. So I can extend one superiority die and add that die to my ability check. So I'll roll it first and then add whatever I got. I rolled a 16, which is rubbish. And I'm going to add a superiority dice D8, yeah?
Yeah. You can also just press the thing, and it rolls for you.
Oh, I could have.
Next time. All right. So
Total for a 19. This is classic, my rolling, but there we go.
So describe to me how you're just walking up like you fucking own the place. Is that it?
Yeah, I'm kind of walking around.
Right.
I'm not being outwardly too observant. Somebody who shouldn't be in an area will be looking around a lot. I'm kind of walking with purpose and sort of towards stuff. Sort of in a similar way to, you're only really going to ever look at guards and things like that if you've got something to hide. I'm just trying to breeze past them and things like that.
As you breeze past, like you feel like the hand of a guard just kind of grabbing you, like, "Oi there, sorry to bother you, sir.
Hello there.
I would need to see your pass, sir."
My pass. Ah,
Yes,
yes.
sir.
Just a moment, and I kind of reach into my jacket.
And cast Misty Step.
Do you know? I believe I've left it back at the manor. That's awfully sorry. Well, I mean, I'm sure we can come to some arrangement, get me through. I don't really want to walk all the way back.
Go ahead and give me another deception roll.
22. Perhaps you can write me some kind of note. You know, this young handsome fellow seems to have misplaced his permit, but he's absolutely fine.
Oh well, sir, I could do that, sir. I would have to. I'll have to take from you the forgotten pass fee, of course, sir.
Oh, I mean, of course. And remind me, it's been it's been such a long time since I've forgotten my pass. How much would that be?
Oh, 5 gold would be fine, sir.
Oh, 5 gold.
like
Take
stupid.
6, my good man.
Oh
No
well,
trouble.
sir. Thank you very much, sir. Let me write you a slip letter, and he takes up an actual block with saying last pass fee on it, and he writes you a temporary pass. So,
You have a hall
really
pass?
Like to imagine. I really like to imagine that's actually just standard practice. He's not taking a bribe. It's literally oops, I forgot my pass fee.
and he writes down your name again, sir.
Hoster next arena.
Oh, sure, sir. And Hostin,
Yeah.
Rena, there we go. All right, here you go. And he like rips it off and he gives it to you. There you go, sir. All good to go. Have a nice trip up to Gloria and have fun.
Awfully kind of you. Have a lovely day.
Yes, sir.
I'll just kind of start breezing my way down the
I should say-
promenades of the
You,
Warrior District.
like the piece of paper says lost pass, kind of what do you call it? Promissory pass instead of price 5 gold. So that is exactly what Evan said. This is standard procedure. He was not corrupt.
Good. And I suppose I'm just kind of hunting out somewhere where it looks like this is the place, or one of the places where people are there purely for the purposes of schmoozing. Whether that is a kind of an open high society party or some kind of members only club, that kind of thing.
Yeah, there's definitely some of the. There's like 2 places where that would be. It would either be up here in Northern Gloria. There's like kind of a high society establishment. Otherwise, the Magister's Club could also be a place to go, but maybe not for you.
Of the 2, which is the one which would be for the climbers, the people who have that kind of sort of snooty ambition in which they want to be the top, but they're not necessarily the top yet?
Probably.
Or the people that just are constantly wanting to just further their position. I want to
Probably
be
up here on at the Gold Cliffs.
Straight to the Gold Cliffs it is.
As you.
We'll continue breezing through. Just going, good morning. It's not even, sorry, afternoon. Where does the time go?
Usually big, smelly, noisy, dirty city. Just litter lying everywhere. Up here, streets are almost polished. No garbage anywhere. Beautiful buildings, like beautiful newly painted facades. You have flowers everywhere, and guards actually doing their rounds, and people walking around with small umbrellas and like looking like they're living a quite wonderful life.
Yeah.
The Gold Cliff Rouse. Let me. We go. You go through there as you get into the Golden Cliffs Gentlemen's Club. So you want to? So what is the kind of what's the goal of your schmoozing?
I want to go there under the pretense of trying to get in with the right set of people, but at the same time keeping an eye out and keeping an ear out, probably more rightly so, for stuff that seems maybe slightly shadier, but like upper class shady. These are people into some corrupt shit more than downright villainy, and then sort of them from there, if that I can get that far, digging in and just seeing whether there is a degree of knowledge about what is going on in the city right now.
Go ahead and give me first of all a deception roll.
Sure. My as far as else is concerned, where there's sort of ambition, there's plotting and just that kind of thing. And there's always some rich person that wants in on that kind of stuff.
Oh shit!
So
yeah.
Deception first. That is a 28.
You fit in perfectly. Like this is like.
This is my preferred terrain. My favorite terrain.
Tell me what kind of suppressed childhood memories you used to fit in.
I'm doing that thing that rich kids do. I'm laughing very loudly at people's jokes, buying people drinks, that kind of stuff, and just going, "You must meet Fenella. She's an absolute riot," and just kind of going through too many kind of garden parties back in the old country and stuff like that, and just talking to extremely dull people but acting incredibly interested.
Give me a con save as you're there.
Oh no.
And go ahead and
Okay.
subtract, let's say, 13 gold.
I can do that. That is a 19 on my con save, and I will extract 13 gold.
Over the day, like, you manage not to get too drunk. so still focused. But you get.
I will try to act a little bit drunker than I am, though, for the entire time.
And now go ahead and give me an investigation roll.
Sure. I am drunk Columbo right now. Investigation. That is rubbish. Let me just check something. I don't believe my commander's presence does that. I will check. Oh, okay, it doesn't. That's a 9 then.
That's a classical Austral.
A classical Austral, yeah.
Shush yourself. The other one was
Yeah.
a 5.
Yeah, and you don't have.
It's a 5.
You know what? I'm going to say that because that you have the actor feat, I'm going to say you do that with investigation with advantage. I'm going to say
Sure.
that
So,
because of
12.
your deception roll, you get not a complete success, but a partial success.
Okay, I'll take it.
You get the kind of feeling as you're spending time up here that the high society is more concerned with the festival of peace than with anything else going on.
Okay.
As there's a lot of kind of happenings going on, and there's some rumors of like some kind of private art show that none of them seem to are invited to and can't get an invite to, and they're very mad about that.
That was exactly what I was about to ask, whether there was any kind of weird eyes wide shut parties coming on in the background that are going to be happening around the festival.
Yeah.
So,
But you can't find out who has been invited or where it is or what kind of shit it is, but there is something, and people are just extremely mad that they can't be a part of it. Very mad.
can I find out who has been invited? Like, can I find anybody who may know somebody?
With a 12,
because
no.
There's always somebody who kind of tangentially knows somebody else. Fair enough. Okay.
Not with a 12.
Okay.
This is what you get for the 12.
That's cool. Okay. Let's see. Okay. That might be me. On that basis, and if we can't do this retroactively, that's fine. Could I have pre-arranged a meeting place with Sophis, just to meet up if he's talking to other people?
I would say that you spend.
Depending on how long I'd spend with this as well.
Go ahead and roll a d6. No, go ahead and roll a d4 plus 2.
4 total.
You spend 4 hours. So you would back around
Okay.
6 o'clock.
So-
I think Sophis
6
might be
PM.
back before.
Alright.
Okay.
All right. Meanwhile, Bjorn and Theus, are you just?
Bjorn.
Yeah.
So you have to be really careful. Like, I will play the role of the women that we are currently captured, not hurting, and we're trying to extract information. So I want you to do your best to try to gently torture her, so we can get information out of her. Like, maybe she knows, like, pretend that she knows the location of the children that were captured. And this might be useful in the future when you have to judge someone, but judge, not kill him, and just get information out of them. So let's go through this. So I will take the puppet, that woman puppet that snip-snapped it, and I will put it, like, strap it with, like, some cord, like some rope around a chair, and then I will draw a face on, like, some... I will put some googly eyes on her, draw a face, and just... I ordered some spaghetti, just put it on the head, just as hair. And... so, Bjorn, do your best.
Okay. Tell me where the children is.
Please don't
Oh.
hurt me, please don't kill me!
I cannot promise you anything. I need this information. It's very important, you see.
No, please don't hurt me, please! I have a family!
And your point with the family, it will bring a great shame upon your family if you are not honest with me. You must understand that these things are not to take in lightly. Honesty is very important. It's honor, you know.
Bjorn, I just threw you a bone. Like, if they, like, mention anything about, like, wanting to go back to a family, you usually, like, try to goad them in, if you ever want to see your family again, You have to tell me that. Like you try to push them away, which goes like threatening them, but not like threatening with violence, but something that they love and care about. If they are not able to see them again, or if they're hurt, like this will make them much more likely to talk. If you like go to them in a way where like you have to talk about the things that is important to them. This is like a technique that, yeah, that's the code used to do. Yeah. Anyways, again,
But
like,
I did that. I said that it would bring dishonor on.
yeah,
on
but
her
normal
family.
people don't care about honor. You have to be aware. They don't like normal people don't care about shame, about honor. They care about like more materialistic things, like feelings and family, like something that they can actually touch. And I know that you're a very honorable guy, and I admire that about you, Bjorn. But you can't get people on your side with just saying, like, if they're not like a warrior like you, like
But
normal people, and just
honor is
say,
forever. Things
yeah,
are
but
just things.
for your kind, but you have to think about the like people who are not warriors and people like not swing an axe like so, that's so big that as yours.
But
Tell me something. What did you do with my spaghetti? Like you see Snick Snack standing there, looking at you.
We need that spaghetti for a very important lesson for Bjorn.
Well, if you wanted me to give the doll hair, you could just ask me to. Why?
Yeah,
what
but-
do you,
but
like,
I need
let me
to
just
do
ask you
quick.
something, gentlemen. There's 666 girls, and you're in here practicing CPR.
No, Bjorn, the reason I also want to talk to you, Snips, I have a task for you,
Go
Snip.
get some. Do you want anything, alcohol or
Yeah,
something?
Snip Snap. I need some
Sure.
time alone with Bjorn, and I just you
Sure,
know the
right.
doll where like the black powder is in the doll. Can you like put in some like sawdust and like just maybe sand, like something that when it explodes, it does like a big like smoke cloud, like so it obscures vision. Could you do that? Like as soon as it explodes, and it also like obscures their vision. Is this possible?
As
Like,
you
maybe
say
they could-
this, like your gaze slowly looks at the doll. When you look back, he's in full artificer gear. I reckon I might be able to do
not this
something
doll,
about
the
that.
other one that I like commissioned for you. All right? Could you
You
do
want
it?
it to explode and be obscuring?
Yeah, like a big like cloud dust, like maybe put in some sawdust and
Do you
some
want
sand.
people standing nearby to get real hurt?
Well, they should rather be distracted. Like we did buy the black powder to get the big boom, but
Yep,
I wanted to
I
have a
remember that.
distraction.
I haven't used any of that for anything else. All right, sure. I'll get on that right away. And then he goes out in the workshop, and he just like you hear loud like gnome AC/DC music in the background as he starts,
Okay, good. Bjorn,
I
because
have
we
a
are
question,
currently
Piers.
yeah.
Why
Well
did
done.
Snick
Snick Snack's amazing.
Why did Snick Snack talk about Arsafish peeing?
That's a very complicated term. That you will learn someday.
Peeing. I don't understand.
It's like it's like when you kiss someone and they get back up. No, that's not right. Anyways,
Okay.
Bjorn, this is not important. What's currently important is because everyone is currently gone. We didn't have a lot of body time lately, and we might go to something and have maybe face something, and I don't know what the result will be. So, what I liked about you, Bjorn, in the beginning was that you didn't ask too many questions. Like when we met together, you were fine with just me praising you and not asking too much about my past, and I liked that. But at the same time, I felt that didn't close the distance between between us. It always felt like I'm lying to you, even though you said that you're my friend. You understand?
Yeah, I understand.
And
I must admit, Piers, that in the beginning you were just scared. You know, the singer of the stories, but this has changed. I miss the old road, but I also like the new one.
the new one does have its own problems. I think we cannot go like we are currently between us both. without coming a little bit more clean. I want you to understand what, like, I want to understand what you're going through, and I want you to understand what I'm going through. So, and this last thing, like, why did you have to kill him? Like, he really, like, we had all information, and then you were, like, brutally murdered. So it was not good. Seriously, Bjorn, it was not good.
Are we still talking about the guy in the alley?
Yeah, that's. Well, the reason is also because you go around judging people, and you also
Yeah.
go around like doing things to others, good things, and you do these those judgments without any like like without being pre-opinionated, without any previous opinion. That means you don't care what the rules are, but you try to be just in what you carry out. And it means if you're trying to be just to the people, it means you empathize with them. And Pandora always said if you're able to empathize with someone, you're able to love and laugh. And if you're able to love and laugh, you are able to do good things and be a good person. And I believe that you are also someone who has like the capabilities and with your status even the responsibility to do good things and be a good person. And killing that's even though he probably did some bad stuff, I don't think killing him was the right way. And I'm teaching, like, I'm currently like talking with you about these lessons and doing this because I don't know how long we will have still together. This could all be burned down the next day, could all die. So I want this to go through before something like this happens.
Then I can tell you, Theus, that my justice is. I am the hero, and I am good.
And act like
When
it.
I kill, it's honor. Torture has nothing to do with honor. And if someone challenges your position, it is your right. So when someone participates in a dark ritual, which includes children, you show them no mercy. That is the.
But did he know that?
Knowledge has nothing to do about it. It's only through action we show ourselves. That's very important.
Bjorn, you think that I should die then? Because I killed a lot of innocent people. And I have done a lot of things in the past that I'm not proud of. And probably which destroyed as many lives as we are currently trying to save. Do you think I should be killed?
Theus, I have no doubt that you.
You're cutting off.
Theus, I have no doubt that you will be killed. But remember, it has to be a pretty powerful opponent to do so.
I'm not saying
And
like,
I will be in the way.
I want to ask if you think that you should kill me. Because I didn't have the knowledge and I did a lot of bad things.
No, of course not. You're my friend.
But if you're trying to judge people, then you cannot play favorites. I hope you understand it someday. And
I am
think
acting as the guard intent. And I haven't killed you yet, so the guards must be with you still.
I just hope that you understand that I, at that time, when did a lot of bad stuff, I didn't know better. And there are people who are doing a lot of bad stuff, and they also don't know better. So maybe when you next time judge someone, you take this into consideration.
I like this. It reminds me of the times when I talked to Mima. Sure, we were all high on shrooms then, but you really have some wisdom in you, Thea. I like this.
It's not even my own. All the stuff I'm spewing, it's what she told me, Pandora. So yeah, I'm just spewing bullshit. I'm just repeating things that someone else taught me, and I don't think I even understand it myself. Jon, I haven't told the others, but in 2 days I might go away in the evening, just a few hours. Don't look for me. I will be back. I have some business to attend to.
I think it's pretty common knowledge that the face asked you to be at the Bofaro Mill.
Didn't I get the letter without telling anyone?
Aust found it in the street outside, wasn't that it?
No, I got the letter, but nobody looked into the letter.
Oh yeah, you just got the letter. Yeah, so you're the only one who knows what it said. Got it? Just to be
But
sure.
we all know that we all know it's 9 days. That it was 9 days from that point, though, for something.
Yeah, you all
We
know.
don't know that,
they
but
told
we
us-
don't know
yeah,
where I'm going.
That's fine.
Ah, okay, right, gotcha.
So you're going away for...
Just a bit. I will be back soon.
Okay.
And I want you to remember that lesson that I gave you.
I'll try. But
Okay,
you should
good.
also remember mine.
As long as I live, I remember it. Alright, let's wait for the others.
Both of you could go ahead and get an inspiration. I think Bjorn, you already have one, so you can give it to one of the others that don't have it.
Yeah. I don't know. Evan, do you have inspiration?
I just used mine.
Hey! There you go.
Thank you very kindly.
All right. So, Noggle, you are researching inside of your chamber within the wagon.
Yeah.
I guess you were not eavesdropping on Theus and Bjorn, though. But go ahead and give me an Arcana check.
You got it. Arcana. 27.
27, all right. And what was the last roll you made? I forgot. It was not too high, but not too low. All right. You think, looking at the... Like, you get a long way further in this research, and you think that some of the weird arcane kind of ley lines might be off. It's weird because, like, the septigram indicates that something should be in the center of it, but the golden spire is like a bit to the western part of the center, and the plug is around underneath there, so something is weird about that. So if you had to put take a clue from that, then if you have to put down the configuration, the big pentagram kind of thing you found, like the picture,
Right.
something tells you that it is going to be like, it's not going to be anything that makes geometrical sense. It's not going to be like in the middle of the septigram or like in between. Like, it's just near it maybe for it to work. You can pinpoint this, you're pretty sure, if you have more time.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm gonna see if I can pinpoint it.
Yeah, but that is the research you get for.
Sorry, this
today. Yeah.
this is like where the plug is, or where the plug is, it like compared to where
No.
the surface is.
No, we're talking to where the ritual would take place.
Oh, where the ritual take place. Okay.
And what I'm saying is, it's not going to be at like where two streets are crossing or in the middle of the septigram.
Yeah, it's
or
not obviously
something
right in the middle.
like that. No,
Yeah.
it's what I'm saying is it's not going to be anywhere where you could kind of look at a map and say, there, it makes sense. It would be there because of the geography. but you're pretty sure that if you spend some more time using your arcane insights, you might be able to figure out where it is.
All right. Cool.
And I will also say, you also know that you're probably one of the only ones alive that will be able to meet the DC for that role in the world.
Oh, well.
And that also tells you something about the DC.
No problem.
So that is what you spend the rest of your day on, figuring that out with your conspiracy board. Bjorn, do you just sit around for the rest of the day, or do you take a walk outside just to let the time fly?
I think Snicksnack promised a boost, didn't he?
What?
Snicksnack promised me boost.
Yes, yes, he did.
Oh well, he did, but then Theus asked him to go and make the bomb doll.
Then I guess I have a to-do list.
So you're going out to get a drink.
Yeah, and
Right.
I say to Theus, I think this will be quick. I just I need stuff. You want to tag along, or you just want to relax?
Actually, when was the last time we went out drinking? I also, Bjorn, you know that I'm not drinking, but maybe like we can pick up some like lemonade, some milk.
Sure.
Sure, let's somebody. Let's go carousing. So, we two buddies.
Theus and Bjorn sets out together out through the city. And we will pick up what happens to you guys in a minute, but I want to return to Oust first.
Yes.
You've spent a bunch of hours doing shit with the rich people up in Gloria.
Mm-hmm.
What do you want to go after that?
Sensing that has kind of come to its sort of natural conclusion, I want to walk back through sort of the intersection between Nvidia Spireshade and Avaricia, and do some shopping for some slightly more niche items.
Oh,
I think it's fair to say. I will.
What kind of things do you want?
A mixture, and I think some of them I'll probably be able to get further out, but primarily alchemist supplies, mercury, a bottle of ethers, so like diethyl ethers, and some cheap wine, and some candles.
Sure. Mark down a gold. That's fine.
Someone's having a party.
Okay, I mean alchemist supplies is 50 gold in the player's handbook, so I'll...
All right. So, all right. If you want to go and buy alchemist supplies like that, all right. I just like a couple of candles and some mercury, whatever. Right. All right. Sure. 50 gold. Mark down for that. So you have a bunch of shady shit and all of the sulfur that you stole the other day.
Yes. Also, in the sort of surrounding area to the Nomad Levitator, is there a boarding house or some kind of dive bar or hostel?
Sure. You find the limping donkey.
The limping donkey sounds fantastic. And I would like to book out a private room for the evening.
Get a room. It's like 2 silver or something.
Silver, so I mark off 50 gold and 2
and you
silver.
get like a room on the 5th floor, like with diagonal kind of roof walls, and it's a bit leaky, and but you have a nice view over Otumbra.
Oh, thank you. I won't need the window, but thank you. And I will I will deposit the stuff in there, and I will come back for it later.
All right, go ahead and do that. Sure. Sophis.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What do you want to do after you've been at Nowhere?
Probably. I thought I was going to go meet up with us, but seeing as he seems to be busy, Cephas will go himself to go and visit Conal Vixerius.
All right. Connell lives quite a ways out of town. So you want to visit him, or
just to make a stop in and ask about just continue through this process of asking about like locations and stuff and places like he as a merchant could contemplate storing large quantities of slaves. Like, I don't know.
you think if you want to have a talk with him like that, you should probably go to his his estate outside town.
Yeah,
You could be back sometime in the evening if you go now.
That's what I'll do, and he'll like pay a couple silver to like rent a draft horse or something for the day, so he can get there a little bit quicker, and a little bit back a little bit quicker.
Cool. All right. Oh, cool. That's really nice. So you ride out into the countryside to visit your old friend. Bjorn and Theus, you get into the first bar on your bar crawl. It's down in the Avaricia district. It's called the Jolly Foreman Pub, and there's just a lot of workers there having a good time. It's very noisy, and the beers are cheap, and you just start having I guess.
What about the lemonade?
There's also they will look weirdly at you, but you can get some lemonade.
All right.
So you start like around 4 or 5 o'clock. You start carousing.
Us?
What?
No, I just like look at Bjorn and say to us as I raise my glass.
To us.
And you guys. Yeah, go ahead.
No, I just wanted to like say like just well done. Let's drink.
Yeah.
What do Nordic like the Nordic men say when you say cheers? Like I just know that we would say like something like salute or cheers or bottoms up with health to your health. What's
We usually say skål.
Skål.
And
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Skål.
It's actually because we used to drink from the skull of our enemies, and skål it's very similar to skjæl, or skjæl, which is like when you cut the top of the cranium. Yeah, so that's why.
Think about it, Bjorn. We never really talked much. Like we went through all of the towns and all, but we didn't like got much in contact. Like at least I didn't do much getting into contact with culture there. I was much more focused during that traveling time to get your name spread among the people. But just talk a little bit about your home country. And
Sure.
And I would talk with.
It's actually very silent when you think about it. And
No, it's currently not silent. Like, do you hear people like currently like growling around? Like the one behind us, that bearded man. Man, he's so loud.
But when the snow falls, everything is silent. All the sounds that we make is enhanced, and that's what I actually miss the most when I'm here in this bustling city.
Some peace and quiet, yeah.
As you reminisce about the glorious woodlands and snowy fields of the Northern Kingdoms, one beer takes the other. You begin to have a great night. In the meantime, I would like to hear from you, Aust. What are you preparing up in that weird room?
Well, I have set up essentially a Bunsen burner with a kind of crucible over the top of it. I have put some of my green dust in there. I put the mercury. I'm also throughout all of this drinking through the wine. And I've put the ethers all in the same crucible, and I'm waiting for it to vaporize. And I'm going to put a cloth over the top of it so it vaporizes through. I'm sealing all of the windows and covering them up and making it as dark as possible in here.
Right.
And I'm just getting drunk as hell.
So you're just
I'm waiting for
starting to...
I'm waiting for the vapors to fill the room.
You're waiting for the vapors to fill the room. Okay, that's interesting. I'll have to find some music for that in a minute. I can feel like that. All right. In the meantime, Safish, you're riding through the gentle hills outside of Staunchflow, and there in the distance you see it a couple of miles out on the hill, like a kind of slightly ajar house with like a bunch of dark but large oak trees next to it. As you ride up, as you get up to the as you get up to the house, you see the big kind of metal gate is open, and the guards are not there.
Ominous. Well, he'll step through. He'll ride his horse in and kind of go right up to the door, keeping an eye out. Does it look like there's been a struggle? Moving
Not
like,
here, but there's definitely dust. You can't hear the horses that are usually in the stables. The servants, everyone is just too quiet.
drawing one of his longer knives, he'll just kind of do the thing where he hides it up against the inner side of his forearm and just walk up to the front door. Is it open?
You walk through the courtyard. The setting sun behind you kind of drags out your shadow in front of you. Like, so you get to seem extra like long and lanky. As you go up, like your ears are like completely scanning. There's no sound to be made. There's not even any birds in the trees. There's but you are pretty sure you're alone.
Before I go any further, am I making noise? Like if I dig my foot into like the gravel path? Okay, so it's not like a silent smell. Okay. Well, I mean, I'll go up to the front door and see what's what.
Front door also slightly ajar, bit open.
Very ominous. I mean, yeah, he'll just at this point he'll start sneaking. He'll use stealth to like creep into the front door and
go ahead and roll.
Begin looking for his companion.
Go ahead and roll me stealth.
Okay. That's a 29.
You begin to like kind of walk close to the walls. Connell was fabulously wealthy, and an elf that kind of adopted. Let's just skip this one. That kind of adopted the ways of humans in a lot of ways. His home is filled with these weird kind of gothic statues everywhere. You see these like there's just these weird paintings of occult shit everywhere. Like there'll be like a ship at sea, and the sea is like all frothy and wavy, and then in the darkness, if you look at the picture just right, or the painting just right, it seems like there's a big like shadowy kind of silhouette in the background. You've seen these before. This is just him being a weird collector, right?
Right.
But there used to be just bookshelves everywhere, and all those are emptied out. They're gone. There's no more books in this hallway.
Huh.
And where do you want to go in this mansion?
Well, I suppose I don't know, whatever room he would normally meet Connell in. Probably
the library.
Like, yeah, sure.
He was very proud of his library. He had like so much very illegal literature and everything. You see like the latest local fashions, like in kind of the way the statues are presented, and as you go down the hall, like the first two double doors are the library, and as you open up the library, what used to be walls just filled with books from the floor to the ceiling is just empty.
Still no signs of a struggle.
I'm not done.
That's right, yeah.
there's just so many bookshelves, but no books. It's completely. The room seems naked. In the middle of the room, you see the chandelier, and from that, a naked Cerenar hangs by the neck in a chain.
Huh.
At least a couple of days dead. And on his chest, someone with a dagger carved in Maledictus.
Oh, they're just racist at this point. Well,
Right?
he'll, yeah. Well, he'll go over and lower the chandelier so he can get the man down.
You cut the cut the rope,
Mhm.
and you gently let down the chandelier, the cold body, against your fingers. Go ahead and give me a medicine check. I'll say with advantage because you are like you
8.
can't like he probably died from hanging.
Yep, I
And
believe
he
it.
and he's cold, so looks like he's almost like he's very rigorous as well. So might be a couple of days ago, maybe not much more than a week, maybe. You're not sure.
Okay. Huh. Looking. Alright, well, fuck.
Go ahead and
It's
give me an
what,
investigation roll
so
as Sophie starts to detective, I guess.
Yep. He moves at half speed, so he has advantage, getting a natural 20 for a total of 29.
Oh. Cerenar was a collector of all esoteric knowledge, all kind of occult shit, everything like tomes about old Hajari or Kalari gods, anything that came from the old Sky Wrath or the religions before. He loved to trade with the northern merchants about things. He would have small effigies of gods and quite a bit about practical magic and rituals as well. His library would probably be your guess about the largest accumulation of occult lore besides the library you found in the sewers a year ago.
Right.
This, you're pretty sure, with all you've seen so far, is the making of the face. And that means that they were probably behind getting all the information from the sewers too. Going through the hallways, his riches has not been touched. Nothing else. It's just like all of his servants just left. And it is almost like taunting how alone he was when you took away his money and his knowledge. You think that whatever information he had, they needed to do the ritual.
Right. Question is, what information did he have? I guess Cephis will spend the better part of an hour maybe looking for possibly some kind of secret, classic secret door behind the bookshelf ordeal, or like maybe checking some other rooms to find something that might have been
Go ahead and
very specifically hidden and missed.
give me a perception roll.
Alright. Also moving at half speed. Also getting you know what, I'm gonna use the lucky point on that. 21 total.
You start looking in his bedroom and stuff like that, and you spend like half an hour just looking through, and it doesn't make sense. You're pretty sure this guy would have kind of a secret room, and then you come back into the library, and then you look at one of the bookshelves. There's no more books on it. So what the hell is that kind of piece of wood sticking out? So you go and you kind of pull it, like if you would have to pull a book that once were there.
Right.
And you see the fireplace kind of opens up into the center, the secret compartment.
Has this already been looted as well?
No.
Ah. Alright, well, Cephas will take a very intent look inside then, in that case.
You go down and you find on an altar a nugget of gold the size of the head. And you see, give me a religion check.
Boy. Can't wait to be really good at that. 10!
You see a bunch of kind of carvings and weird occult sigils, and you don't really know what they mean, right? But a bunch of candles also. It seems like this is where he did some rituals, and go ahead and give me a luck roll, just a straight up D20.
Okay. 18.
Okay. And inside you find there's a few books underneath one of the candlesticks, just to hold it up at the right kind of height. And as you kind of take it out, it says in like an old Kalari or Hajari maybe, like it's definitely from the west where you're originally from. It says something about the geomantric properties of conjuration circle.
I mean, are you, to be clear, are you saying it says something because it's too complicated to understand, or because...
No, because you understand.
Okay, because Arcephis can read this language.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying. But only one who can read this language would know that.
Okay.
This sounds like some of the nonsense Nongol is talking about when he's researching.
Are there any notes written anywhere?
No, it's just dumb luck that you found this. This was just used as like a prop to hold up the candlesticks. There's nothing like the rest in here seems like just that you could take it with you, but this one you recognize some of the language is what I'm saying.
Yeah. I mean, he's just gonna grab anything and everything that looks even remotely important, and will, bring with him, just everything he can.
Mechanically, I'm allowing you to aid Nongol in his research, which means he gets advantage.
Cool. So Cephas will just stuff his bag of holding with as much stuff as he can, and then we'll, just take off with it, and we'll ride his horse into the ground to get back as quickly as he can.
Right.
Probably leaving Colonel's body on his bed, draped in something.
Classy. All right, I want to do two things here. Bjorn and Theus, you're out. We're spent a couple of hours drinking. Bjorn, you're definitely getting more drunk. You're now at your, let's say, third, what is it called? The tavern, and you're down somewhere at the Saltstone Tavern down at the docks, and you're definitely getting some nice salty saltwater kind of spiked flagons of grog, right? As you're talking, you hear a voice address you. By Odin's beard, Bjorn, is that you? And is that Theus? And as you look, you see Bjork Bjorkson, the Ambulon, a merchant that you have, both of you, Theus and Bjorn, have traveled with on his ship, the Jolly Whale. he is a very successful merchant that has a past with Bjorn. You raided together the Chthonians back in the day, and he has gone on to become a very successful merchant, especially down south, trading with amber meat oils, whale oil, that kind of thing. That is why he goes by the name the Amber Lord. He's like not as tall as you, Bjorn. He's maybe like 180 centimeters. What would that be? 5 feet? 6 feet? I don't know.
Just under 6 foot.
Just under
6
6
foot is 183.
Got it. All right.
For
So
our
he's around
Imperial
6.
fans.
He's around 6 foot, like compared to Bjorn's 7 or whatever it is. He wears like a big orange cloak and like a brown wolf pelt on it, and you see he's in there with his crew of his ship.
Can you put the name of him? Like
Yes, Bjorkson the Amberlord. I'm going to put it in the chat of Foundry here, so everybody can see. And he like kind of.
Friend.
Yes. Well, what brings you here? And he sits down next to you, Bjorn. Well, there's not much space on this bench here. Have you gained weight or something? Move a bit.
I'll shift my weight. Well, it seems like you lost a bit of muscle.
Now, what can I say?
You
not like
sailed too
knife
long
edge.
and raided too little, friend.
Well, maybe. But well, business is good, or it used to be at least before these stupid taxes. But that is only a certain thing, isn't it? For the White Bear as well, maybe.
I don't know about any taxes, but I know down here they have this damn thing called wine. It's very unique.
Yes.
You can actually fiddle a little with it if you take the snaps and you just dip a bit of wine into it. Really.
You know what? We will have some wine, because I have in my possession some schnapps. And what about you, Theus? You were on my ship when I sailed you down to the from the north down to the Emirates. You had to go there, right? Oh, the Kalar Sand Sea. So how are you feeling? Are you still taking care of my friend here?
Just as with always, business as always. You here? Got any new deals?
Well, I don't know if you heard, but the southern nations decided to put on a special tax for goods from the north.
It wouldn't surprise me.
I don't know why they would do this. We have had good trade relations for years, but now, sorry to say, business is not as good. Might take it elsewhere.
Maybe you should move away from the city, especially the city. There might be something going down. Just keep you safe.
Go ahead and
Maybe
give me
not stay in the city for too long.
Go ahead and give me a deception just to see if he like picks up on your
I'm not lying.
No. But then that you're hiding something. What would you say that it's stealth?
But I can roll perception. Like I'm trying to nudge him that, well, he's an old acquaintance, and I don't want him to be here when shit goes down and be like getting involved to this, like being like caught in the crossfire.
Alright. I want you to roll deception if you want him not to pick up that you're not telling him why he should leave, right?
Okay, good. 26.
All right.
Don't worry,
Sure.
it's nothing too much. It's just there might be like things going on here that might be not only bad for your business but bad for you, maybe your future.
No, and the two of you are involved somehow.
We're making sure that this thing that goes down won't go down, but we aren't sure if we'll be successful.
See, well, if you want me to sail away, I will do so.
No, we really like your presence here. It's just like we want to keep you like out of bad shit.
He looks up at you, Bjorn. Says, I trust if you have the white bear with you, then any enemy will crumble before you, Master Theus. But tell me, if there's anything I can do for my old friends, do not hesitate to ask.
I was actually thinking about something.
Yes?
How good is your contact in the capital of this strange land?
Nurath?
Mhm.
Dwarves are good. Yeah, I know the guy who runs the Big Head Inn. That's a great place. If you ever come to New Wrath, you should probably go there. Otherwise, I'm not without contacts, but really depends on what you're asking for.
If somebody were to carry a message to some very important people, I could actually think of no better than you.
What is the message? And for who?
I think I would like to meet the king of Rathuria.
And you're asking me to arrange that? Do I look like some lordling with his vineyards and his servants sucking his cock all day long? Is that what I look to you?
Well, nobody is in the north is lord, you know.
Well, only me.
Might be
The
a-
Amber Lord, of course.
Oh yeah. So there you have your answer. I'm in the need of a lord, and you are happy to provide.
You know what, Bjorn? I could never say no to you. I will see. It's a long shot, but who knows? If I could get you an audience, though, you owe me a big time.
Well, you know that I have contacts in the north who will happily provide you with whatever, I don't know, pelts, amber, for an even more affordable price.
You know what? If you had asked any other merchant of the Northern Kingdoms, you would have been out of luck. But I might just have the. But now, Bjorn, Theus, my friends, let us drink. Wine with schnapps, was it? Let's do it.
Yes.
You can see all of the.
You know that I only drink water. This thing.
Oh yes, that is correct. You want? We have some very nice citrus kind of juice at the ship. Do you want
Yeah,
one of my
I would take
mates?
it. This is a little bit sweetened.
Oh yes, it is. Sven. He says something in Norse. Hente that juice there. He says. That's that little Danish for all of you. As one of the one of the sailors go out, and all of these northern brawny looking sailors are they begin to pound the table and begin to sing shanties of the north, like my mother told me someday I would buy. And what
should we do with the drunken sailor? What should we do with the drunken sailor?
And you begin to drink with the Amber Lord and his crew.
Early in the morning. Alright.
Asked.
Hello. So we've just had occult rituals on one side of the city, drinking on the other, and then me in the middle doing both.
The wine, it's gone.
The wine is long gone.
This smoke here is.
Yeah.
You don't know if it's wine or the smoke, but you're feeling woozy.
Oh, definitely. And from the very kind of sort of basic sort of scientific education I had back in the Imperium, I knew full well, because I have no background in ritual magic, I have no background in alchemy, but I know that ethers are pretty good at causing hallucinations, and I know that mercury, if you take enough of it, makes you mad. So I'm using both. And I'm just kind of trying to bubble it away along with the green dust in this crucible, and just inhaling as much of the vapors as possible. And sitting down, I'm going to pull out some parchment and my little scroll case and a pen. And when I when I'm beginning to feel the effects, I'm going to take the cloth off of the top of the crucible. I'm going to dip my pen in the liquid that's in there, and I'm going to start writing on the parchment. And because House doesn't know how to do this, so he just assumes that you need physical components for contact of a plane. But yeah, so he's kind of running with it. Yeah, he's going to start like essentially automatic writing, sort of through this kind of weird kind of wine and mercury and ether induced high. I'm casting contact of a plane.
I'm going to say a couple of things before we go on with it. One,
Sure.
as you know, when we did our session 0, doing occult like ritual magic with other planes might get picked up by the conventicle.
Yep.
I'm saying there's a chance of that. I wanted you to know before we do anything that you will find unfair. That is one thing. 2, Nongo. Did you cast any kind of protection spells on Oust today, as you usually do?
No.
I don't think we have for the last couple of days.
Yeah, I stopped doing that.
All right.
Yep.
I'm going to ask you to do. Let's take the scene and then we'll make the rolls after that. Let's do that. So you take out the parchment and you begin.
I think I'm going to very quickly do the long rest on things. I don't think I did it after the other day because I don't have any spell slots at the moment. And then I can put the thing in. Long rest. Day. Yep. Cool. Now I can cast that.
You go ahead. Give me an intelligence save.
Don't mind if I do. Intelligence save. Yes. Okay. That is a 14.
You needed a 15 not to get mad.
Exactly.
Right.
Yep. Cool.
You
So
let's.
we'll take that
All right. I have to find out what is happening. So you take out this, which you begin to like. It's hard to focus. The ritual kind of. Your mind, it's cloudy. All the ether, it's in your mind. Like you had a few experiences like this before, but it's getting real hard to focus. And as you take out, like you see like 4 or 5 different copies of the pen and the paper. And then as you put it down, you just see Oust, a different kind of situation. Just completely like dark green, almost black eyes, writing down notes to yourself. You recognize them for ages past. Ever since this note shit started, I was just writing them, and then stabbing himself in the neck. It just happens again and again and again and again and again. Everywhere. You see people walking in, finding you lying dead on the floor with no paper in your hand. And just like you get this flashes of this until you just kind of snap out of it. What does it say on the parchment?
Well, and we'll go. Do you want to do the questions one by one, or do you want all of the questions at once? From a DM's perspective. I think
You
some
have
of
to
the
succeed on the save.
Oh, do I? Oh,
Yeah.
in that case, you tell me what's on the on the piece of paper because it's probably not me by that point.
You just see your own hand again and again, the same sentence written over and over again.
Mm-hmm.
And it says, "We must disrupt pillars of the old world. And variations of that. The sentence you said just before you reached out and grabbed the version shot.
About refocusing the lens.
Yeah. Refocusing the lens, that's it. That was what I'm desperately trying to remember.
All right.
So it just says refocus the lens over and over and over again.
Excellent.
And I will let you ask one question.
Alsa's got some alcohol in his system by this point, so his judgment isn't probably the best. So the question he's going to ask is, and he's kind of, it's one of the only things that's kind of scrawled in the sort of spideriest, kind of almost jammed the pen right into the page writing throughout all of this kind of manic writing of focusing the lens. Just asking, is the party related to the ritual? Being in reference to the party that he heard mentioned by the rich and well-to-do of Staunchflow previously in the day.
So is the party, as like you, the ding dong, if you are related somehow?
Oh, sorry. The party is in the this fancy art party rather than as in.
Oh,
party.
That party.
Sorry,
All right.
yeah.
I was just like, the
Yeah,
adventure
sorry.
party.
Yeah, obviously. No. Yeah, so this kind of exclusive, kind of invite-only party that a lot of people don't seem to be invited to for some reason. This arts event.
It is and it is not. You see in the screen. Refocus the lens.
Oh, you jammy bastard. Okay, cool.
And with that,
And I will pass out. I'd imagine.
Oust passes out. Theus is sober with a bunch of drunken Northmen. Noggle is, I guess, at some point falls asleep doing his thing. His research as Safis is returning.
Before we
back.
say goodbye to the Ember Lord, just want to take him to the side and I wrapped the pearl that I had for one of my spell components, which is worth 100 gold, up and say to him, could you give this to the usual place, Ivory Isles, the little trunks, I asked you once before.
Yeah, remember the orphanage you keep sending things to, right?
Yeah.
You got
I
it.
had this pearl for a spell which will consume, that was called Fortune's Favor,
Oh,
and I think my fortune might be running out, so it might be better placed somewhere else.
well, I hope to see you again soon, because this has been a great fucking night. I have
you.
something
Great.
for you as well. And it's just like a rock with like a letter in it. It's just like an arrow pointing up, or a V if you turn it around. It's just like this blue carving inside a gray rock.
I recognize it.
This is my mark. If you say Bjork 3 times while holding it, I will know where you are, and I will come pick you.
Thank you. Be well. Be safe.
You too. Now get out of my bedroom, he says, as he basically lies down on the floor of the tavern and begins to sleep.
I asked the tavern keeper for a room or just a pillow and some blankets just to keep him warm and so he doesn't sleep on the cold floor.
Beautiful. And I guess then you take Bjorn and walk him the long way home.
Yep. Actually, I have a cast suggestion on him.
Yeah, let's just magically force him to this. Perfect.
Yep, because I'm not strong enough to carry Bjorn.
That makes sense. Bjorn, you get back magically. Do you want to say something?
Do you want to save against that, Bjorn?
No.
Okay, I would
What should
suggest
I
him
do, Theus?
that you have that uncontrollable urge to go pee, but you have to pee in our home of Snip Snap, and you have to do it so urgent. You have to, not here, but in a place where where you already shit before.
And
Okay.
as our friends go back to sleep, we will have our break now. Before we pick up what happens after this. So go ahead. All of you can make a long rest, and that is. And we forgot last time, so it will be 2 days since we did last long rest. And I will go ahead and go to sunup at the 28th of Aurora. We will be back with the stream in let's say 20 minutes. How does that sound for people? 20 minutes it is. So 10 to the hour, we'll be back for all of you guys, and so we hope that you'll be watching, and thanks for being with us so far. All right. Thank you, guys.